I've known Donald Trump since 2000. I fought for him. Actually, I fought in his casino at the Trump Taj Mahal. I did a Celebrity Apprentice with him. I seen him before he was even a politician. And once again, he's not a politician trying to get rich off of it. He's a politician trying to fix this country. And that's what we need. It's no longer liberal, it's no longer Democrat, it's no longer Republican. It's good versus evil right now. People need to understand that. It's very, very important. Now that I really just sit back and I see what's going on, I had to make the fly out here. I had to come out here and support Kari Lake because she's a fighter.
How are you, Goodyear? So good to see you guys. How many of you care about this country? I knew it. I knew it. It's so simple. We elect people to office and then we wonder why they go to DC and they start acting a different way. I'll tell you why they do it. They get bribed and they get blackmailed. We've seen it over and over again. Aren't you curious what blackmail material they have on some of these people back there, the way they're voting? How many of you have families? How many of you have kiddos? And how many of you are worried about the future for them? I am. And I know Tito is as well. He's got 3 boys. Actually, I think our girls are in pretty good shape. I worry about our boys. They're being told that if you were born a boy, you know, you're toxic and you shouldn't be masculine. You shouldn't be the man God created you to be. And we got to make sure that our families are being supported. And right now, they're not right now. So when I go to DC, I'm going to be the most pro-family senator this country's ever seen. I want to make sure that we're supporting women, and you know, the left talks about abortion all the time. And you know what? We want to save babies' lives and support women. I'm from a family of 9. Any big families out there? All right, we got a few of them. I want to see more big families. We had 8 girls in our family and 1 boy. I know, the next question is, did he turn out normal? Yes, he did. He's not only the greatest brother, he's an incredible father, and he is an incredible husband as well. He's just been incredible. But I want to see more big families. I want to see families enriched and strengthened, and we need to do that. Right now, people can't even afford to feed themselves, let alone start a family. The American dream means you work hard, you're rewarded for your hard work, you can buy a home, you can raise a family. And right now, under Bidenomics, you can't even afford a Chipotle meal once a week. And we're working harder, and where we used to be able to work 1 job and come home to our families, now we have to have a 2nd job, and maybe we have to have our husband or wife pick up a 2nd job as well. This is not the American dream, and that's because we have 12 million people who poured across our border in the Biden invasion. And guess what that means? Guess who's bearing the brunt of that? The hardworking middle class, hardworking Americans. Your wages are being depressed. When you bring 12 million people in, guys, guess what? They're gonna work for peanuts. And that means that the hard work you do, the value of that goes down, even though you're working harder than ever. And it's bringing our housing prices up. People are saying, my rent has shot up. Well, that's because we're competing with 12 million people here illegally for housing. They can't blackmail me. I don't have any blackmail material. They can't bribe me. They've already tried, and I told them to go straight to HE, double hockey sticks. And Washington, D.C. is corrupt. There's a reason they don't want a woman like me there, because they're afraid I'm gonna fight for you and not for them. And they're right, I am gonna fight for you. Hardest thing, to be honest, on the campaign trail, and I feel like I've been on the campaign trail for a while now, is talking to moms and dads who've lost a son or daughter to fentanyl poisoning. This border does not have to be wide open. We don't have to have the cartels in control. We can change this. I'll tell you what, 27,000 pounds, imagine what that is, 27,000 pounds of fentanyl the last fiscal year was seized, and half of it was seized right here in Arizona. I'm not okay with that. I don't want Arizona being the pipeline for fentanyl. And so we're gonna stop it. I'm gonna do everything in my power to stop the scourge of fentanyl poisoning. They're gonna throw everything at the wall. They're gonna try to turn you away from President Trump. They're calling him a convicted felon now. You know, when I get to Washington, D.C., my #1 priority is going to be securing that border, finishing the wall, sending people back to their homeland, because we got to protect our homeland, guys. Are you okay with that? But we have to have honest and moral people in office, and right now, the people running our elections are not doing a good job. And that's an understatement. If I could really espouse on what I feel about it, let me just say, they're not doing a great job. This Senate seat is critical. Ruben Gallego is a Marxist. Many of you might have families who come from parts of Latin America, other parts of the country that have escaped to America. Ruben Gallego wants to drag us by the collar back into that Marxism and socialism, and we cannot have that. Vote Ruben out, absolutely. Absolutely. My husband and my children are Latino, but more importantly, they're American. They're American, and we got to come together. And Ruben Gallego is against everything that we are for. If you like Joe Biden's wide open border, if you like the economy that's spiraling downward, if you like World War III, if you like defunding the police, then you might like the guy. He is Ruben Gallego, but 40 years younger. Can you imagine 40 more years of Joe Biden? Ruben Gallego is Joe Biden, but 40 years younger. He's a mini-me Joe Biden. So we got to make sure this guy is voted out of Washington, D.C. I'm going to stand up for you. I'm going to stand up for our economy so that whatever you do, you prosper. And we're going to stand up for making Arizona not just great again, but safe again and affordable again.